Welcome back, everyone. We've made it to the final explainer in our strategic vision series. Over the last few sessions, we've really explored the deep mechanics of building a life of purpose. But today is where everything shifts. We are moving away from just kind of passively dreaming, and we're stepping right into active strategic execution. So let's just dive straight in. Because look, having a massive vision is amazing, but actually pulling it down into reality, well, that is where the real work begins.
And that brings us to what I like to call the ultimate wake-up call. Who are you and why are you here? Right? It sounds so incredibly simple, yet a staggering number of people hit midlife without ever even answering it. They get to this point where, they have a career, a family, this whole daily routine going on, but they're basically just drifting right along society's default path. They completely lack that fundamental clarity of a vision. They literally don't know where they're going, let alone why they're going there.
So, where does this systemic problem actually start? Honestly, you can trace it right back to our modern schooling system. It entirely misses the mark on teaching the single most important subject, which is know thyself. From the first grade all the way up to postgraduate degrees, we are almost never taught to actually explore who we are or what our grand purpose in this world should be. And instead, what happens? Our entire lifelong destinies are just blindly dictated by test percentages. Like if you score a 95, okay, you're going to be an engineer. A lower grade, you're doing something else. It is just a structurally flawed foundation for building your life's work.
Section 1. The journey and the destination.
Think about your life as an actual road trip. If you're starting out in Islamabad, you can't possibly pack the right gear, or check the weather, or even pick which road to take unless you actually know for sure if you're heading to Peshawar or Karachi, right? If you're going to Peshawar, well, the climate's totally different, the road is different, your whole preparation is different. And life works in the exact same way. You simply cannot plan effectively, especially when things break down or get tough, which they absolutely will, if you haven't clearly defined your final destination.
So here's the absolute crucial point. Life, it is not a dress rehearsal. We don't get a second chance to run through this. We get exactly one shot at this journey. And that makes it absolutely critical, totally non-negotiable, to be incredibly mindful about the direction we choose before we start pouring all our precious time and energy into it. Section 2. Defining your ultimate vision. This brings us to a really beautiful concept. A true ultimate vision connects three vital things: your profession, your business, and your role as an ummati, a member of the global Muslim community. The absolute wisest individuals out there, they don't separate these things. They ask themselves, how can my work, my training, or my consulting not just pay my bills, but actually create a lasting, positive impact on millions of lives? How can I help people stand on their own 2 feet with dignity? That right there, that is a massive 100 to 200-year ultimate vision. But let's be real, a 200-year vision is just massive. It literally outlives you. So we have to introduce what's called the intermediate vision. Now, this is a tangible, long-term picture of the future, but it's limited by a specific time frame, usually around 25 years. What this does is it takes that enormous, abstract, multi-generational dream and anchors it down into a highly quantifiable milestone, something you can actually measure and achieve during your own lifetime. Section 3. Reverse engineering your roadmap. Okay, let's dive right into this funnel. The whole concept here is called reverse engineering. So you start way out there with your 100 or 200-year ultimate vision. And then you ask yourself, okay, to achieve that, where do I need to be in exactly 25 years? Once you lock in that 25-year intermediate vision, you bring it even closer. Where must I be in 10 years? Then what about 3 years? Until finally you arrive at the 1-year immediate picture. And just like that, you've taken centuries of ambition and broken it down into a concrete step-by-step plan that you can quite literally start executing tomorrow morning. And when we talk about grounding that massive global vision into reality, it often means your 1-year plan might just be focusing exclusively on your own city. That's it. Before you go out and try to build some massive global network, you have to master your immediate surroundings first. You focus on making an impact on the people standing right in front of you. Section 4. Developing core competencies. Now, to actually execute this vision, you have to take a hard look at yourself and evaluate where you stand across a bunch of different roles. As an individual, as a servant of God, as an ummati, maybe a parent, and of course, a professional. Across all of these roles, you're basically evaluating 3 levels of maturity. There's your core, your character, and, absolutely most importantly for execution, your competence. And when we talk about competence, well, that breaks down into 4 essential pillars: knowledge, skills, network, and processes. Listen, if you're sitting there feeling like you lack financial resources right now, this is exactly what you need to focus on developing. You go out and build the right knowledge, you obsessively refine your skills, you connect with the right network, and you establish really robust processes. This is exactly how you build a bridge over that gap between where you're standing today and that one-year goal.
Section 5. Overcoming hurdles and the price of execution.
The source material shares this profoundly powerful anecdote, and it's all about the unseen work behind the scenes. I want you to imagine for a second sacrificing your sleep, waking up in the freezing cold at 3:30 in the morning, tracking down a friend with a motorcycle, and biking 25 kilometers in the pitch dark. I can promise you for sure that is not a comfortable ride, but that is exactly what someone actually did just to secure a single 1-hour meeting with a mentor right before Fajr prayers. If you are truly hungry enough for the wisdom required to build your competence, you will happily pay that physical toll.
So the crucial takeaway here is that beyond just the physical sacrifice, there is a very real financial one. The advice from the experts is crystal clear. Never, ever save money when it comes to your own learning. Even if you literally only have 1 pair of shoes and 2 sets of clothes to your name for an entire year, you spend whatever money you have on training, on books, and on mentoring. Making those incredibly deep sacrifices to build your competence today, that is exactly what's going to save you from absolutely devastating, costly mistakes on your journey years down the line.
And that brings us to the end of this framework. And I want to leave you with a very serious question. The ultimate destination is set. The roadmap has been completely reverse engineered all the way down to this exact moment right now. So what are you willing to sacrifice today to build your 1-year picture? It is time to stop drifting. Time to break out of the system's default path and take immediate strategic action. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through the Strategic Visions Explainer. I really hope this gives you the exact clarity you need to go out and build something truly impactful.